Good morning again. I'm Kathy Kelly from AHRC New York City, and I am delighted to chair the Manhattan DD Council. So welcome, everybody. And we'll start, as we generally do, with announcements. So if you have an announcement, if you can use the raise hand feature of Zoom, we'll get started with that. Paola?
Good morning, everyone. I have two announcements. One is that we're having our in-house special education workshops for families and professionals. The English version is going to be November 12th at 10 a.m. And I'm going to put that information on the chat as well. And the Spanish one, totally in Spanish, is going to be November 14th, 10 a.m. Also, we are launching actually a new program, and this program has to do with students attending college in New York. And if they are facing disability discrimination in higher education, we have an attorney here that it will look into the situation and assess if it's something that we can do, and they will do accommodations, advocacy, appeals, grievances, and continues. So that information is also in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Paola. Jay? Jay, you're muted.
Okay, take two. Good morning, Jay Kleinman from LifeSpire. We have openings in behavior management in Manhattan. So we have immediate availability in that program, and we provide services, can be done either in person or remotely. Also, second hat I'm wearing today is at the Queens Family Support Fair, is November 15th at the Flushing Sheraton. I put the registration link in the chat. So we'll have about 65 agencies will be set up with tables there. And of course, it's free to attend. All right, so I put that information in the chat as well as my email for referrals for behavior management. Thanks.
Thanks, Jay. Wendy?
Good morning, all. I am the Housing Assistance Services Director at ADAPT Community Network, and the following announcements for ADAPT are: we are very excited that tomorrow we will have our annual Family Connect Summit. It is virtual, and I will put that link, I will put the flyer in the chat for you, but you can also just register by visiting our website at adaptcommunitynetwork.org. There'll be a pop-up for you that'll link you right into the registration. Also at ADAPT, we do offer a variety of services, including day habilitation, community habilitation, family reimbursement, not only for Manhattan, but actually all 5 boroughs, home modification, clinical services, and more. Again, you can visit our website, adaptcommunitynetwork.org, for more information. And I'll also put that link in the chat for everyone to see. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Kang-Wen?
Good morning. YI Manhattan Crisis Intervention has openings for behavior management, counseling, and support with services. We also have openings in our other Manhattan programs, socialization skills, parents with special needs, and independent living skills. I will put the referral information in the chat, and please also feel free to review our flyers, which I will also attach. Thank you.
Thank you. Dylan?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Dylan Wadden. I'm the Communications and Advocacy Coordinator at AHRC New York City. It's a pleasure to be here with you all today. I just wanted to mention that AHRC New York City has a number of family education workshops upcoming. They're all over Zoom, and they are all free to register. I'm going to put the link in the chat to our news blog, which has a listing of all of our upcoming workshops. We have one tomorrow that I believe is on guardianship, and one, I believe we have one each week through most of November. So I encourage you to check it out. Lots of great information for families and professionals. Have a great day. Looking forward to hear more information from the rest of you.
Thank you, Dylan. Pat?
Good morning, everyone. Pat Liu, Family Support Coordinator from GHO. I want to announce that we have ongoing opening for our Day Help Without Wall and community-based pre-vote and some job training programs. We also have family support service for individuals who are new to the system seeking OPWDD service. Medicaid is not required. We will assist them work through the whole process. And we have a bilingual speaking staff speaking in Korean or Chinese to assist the family. And also we have a contract with CCO, one of the CCO CDNY. We do the intake assistant for families speaking in Korean or Chinese. And I will put my contact information on the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Christopher?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Christopher O'Connor. I'm representing Epring Community Services. I just wanted to make an announcement that we do have openings in our Day Have Without Walls located in the Bronx, servicing those that live in the Bronx and Manhattan. We do open house tours weekly. Families can always call, schedule a tour with me, the intake specialist. I will put my information in the chat. We also have openings for community rehabilitation and respite services within all boroughs except for Staten Island. Again, I'll put all those flyers in the chat and our flyers for our open house that we have weekly with our Day Have. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Christopher. Any other announcements on the virtual platform before we move to the in-person? Julie?
Hi, everyone. My name is Julie Singer. I work at the Marlene Mayerson JCC in Manhattan as our Director of Youth Programming in our Center for Diverse Abilities. And I'm really excited to share that our annual Special Education School Fair is back. It will be held on November 13th, which is a Wednesday, from 5:30 to 7:30 at the JCC. There will be schools and resource organizations supporting individuals with disabilities from preschool age through transition and college age. We would love your help to share our flyer and information about it with families and your communities so we can reach as many families as possible. So I'll put that in the chat and my information should any of individuals from your community have any questions. We'd love to see them. It's free to attend for families, for in addition to sorry, I lost my train of thought. It's free to register for families and for any professionals that want to join to learn more information for their communities. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Julie. Any other announcements on the virtual platform? Then we'll move to the in-person. Anybody have any announcements? You do have to come up here and use the mic.
Okay. So official. Good morning. My name is Priscilla. I am coming from Summertime, which is a studio, gallery, and residency program supporting artists with and without disabilities in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. We are currently looking for artists for our Studio Hours program, which is a space for adult artists to make work together in community with the support of an artist mentor. We work with them to make their dreams come true, to exhibit work, sell work, grow as an artist and as a professional. The program accepts self-direction and private pay, and it's really amazing. And we also are about to put on a puppet show about the sex, love, and fantasy lives of artists with disabilities, created by 60 artists with and without disabilities working together. It's November 1st and 2nd at the Abrams Art Center, and we're really trying to get folks with disabilities in the audience, groups to attend. It's a really beautiful show, and we are happy to give discounted tickets and free tickets to people who need them. So I will leave cards for everybody, and please reach out. You could go to summertimegallery.org and you'll find plenty of information, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Next person sat over there
But then they can't see me, right? Oh, no. Oh, lovely. I feel like I'm giving testimony. Good morning, everybody. So nice to see you all. I don't swear, but I promise, I promise. Good morning. My name is Alana Katz. I'm the secretary for the DD Council. But I am here representing my agency, OHEL Base Ezra. We have money available in family reimbursement. It's been a morning. Anyways, we have money available. I usually find that at the end of the year, everybody's scrambling. So we would appreciate if you thought about it now, because that way you'll get what you want, and we have lots of money. And you could submit multiple times. Okay, great.
Okay, good morning. My name is Joanna Santana. I'm the Director of Family Support Services. Just to announce that we have openings for non-Medicaid case management, evaluation, non-Medicaid as well, family reimbursement, housing, and educational advocacy. Our information is going to be shared in the chat. And outside, we have a table with resources as well. Thank you. Synergia, of course. Thank you.
Don't you wish you were here?
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to take the opportunity that we are doing this virtual and in-person to join in-person session. Really appreciate it. Rocio Ruiz from YI. I just wanted to reiterate the information that my colleague Conway shared about the services in YI, specifically about parents with special needs. I just wanted to inform that parents with special needs is a service that we provide to the people who has IDD themselves and has kids who has sometimes IDD too, or they don't have. Then this is an excellent program to really empower families to continue independence and have their own family. Then share with us any sources that you have, even if you feel like the person is not has eligibility yet, we can figure out how we can support in case that is possible. Additional to that, we have socialization groups. This is for kids who are 9 and up. Then please use the opportunity to enhance that skills to the people that we support. As we mentioned, in crisis intervention, we have behavior management, it's in home services, it's for caregivers, and that way we can empower them to manage any challenging behavior. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Gonna be quick. It's so good to see some of you up there. I just want to say hi to Margaret, Susan, Wendy, Paola, Richard. So good to see you. I'm so excited. And I also want to say something to Rocio. That Latino conference last week was amazing. I did an amazing Latino conference, and I was there and I loved it, every minute of it. Esperanza. Oh, my name is Yesenia. I'm from Esperanza Center, and we do have openings for a site-based day program. I want to see people. Site-based day program in Manhattan and the Bronx. We also have vacancies in our recreation programs for children and adults. So please reach out to us if you need any assistance with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements in the room? Nope. Quiet today, Ellie.
The steps.
I know. Yeah. Well, once again, this month, hold on. once again, we're coming to you in a hybrid modality. We are in person here at Sidahia. And we are looking for other hosts to kind of host a hybrid meeting. There are about 10 people here today. Last month, there were about 15. And we do probably expect that to kind of grow. So if you have the space available to host a hybrid meeting, please let me know. And we will definitely come and make the rounds around the borough of Manhattan. We'll move on to New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene updates. I believe Rayana is here.
Just saw her picture. She was.
And I thought I saw Rayana join us. Then we'll move on to state news updates. Sam?
Good morning, everybody. James is off today, so I am going to be presenting on his behalf. There's not as many new updates. I was talking.
Sam,
Did
you're
you guys
muted.
hear me at all? I was muted. I'm so sorry.
Now we can.
Okay, I was talking. I was saying that James is off today, so I'll be presenting in his stead. I don't have a lot of updates. I think we covered quite a lot last month, but between last month and this month, there hasn't been as many updates. So to kick things off, as you guys know, early vote, well, I should say some of you may not know, but early voting starts this month. Voting is a civic duty for every citizen, especially those with, and including those with disabilities. So I just wanted to let you know that that care managers and provider agency staff are responsible to help people who want to vote and to make a plan to vote and cast their ballots. Accessible voting equipment is available at all polling places. Just as a reminder, the deadline for registering to vote is October 26, 2024. Early voting does run from October 26th to November 3rd. And election day, as a reminder, is November 5th, 2024. If you need assistance or help registering to vote or finding additional information, you can contact Michael Orzel. He is OPWDD's National Voter Registration Act liaison. I'll put his contact information in the chat as well, okay? Regarding CDPAP, I know a number of individuals that receive services through us also receive services through CDPAP. So just a quick update regarding CDPAP. On September 30th, Governor Hochul announced New York State's statewide partner will be Public Partnership LLC for CDPAP, and which will move also its national headquarters to New York State. I believe they're a company that's based in the South. But they're going to be moving to the Northeast. So just to reassure folks, OPWDD has its own fiscal intermediary program outside of DOH through self-direction. So that program will remain as is. So like I said earlier, we know that some people we provide services to utilize both CDPAP as well as OPWDD services. And we do not anticipate any disruption in service related to the CDPAP program. We do encourage individuals and families to work with their care manager if they experience any disruption that affects their day-to-day living circumstances. And then regarding workforce payments, supplemental payments. So there are about 90 providers that submitted revised COVID service and or vaccination incentive surveys. Rate calculation sheets based on their revised survey submissions were given to providers beginning July 31st, 2023. The cost of living adjustment for the state fiscal year 2024 to 2025 enacted budget includes a cost of living adjustment of 2.84%, 1.7% of which provides targeted salary increases. The April 1st, 2024 rates, which include the 2.84% cost of living adjustment, have been approved by the Division of Budget. And these rates were paid to providers earlier this month. They should have received payment by October 9th of this month. And then the care coordination program evaluation. So back in 2022, December of 2022, OPWDD issued a request for proposal for a comprehensive evaluation of its care coordination program. So on August 15th of last year, we had announced that we had selected the American Institutes for Research to evaluate the effectiveness of care coordination practices. So far, I apologize. So far, 35 individual and family interviews have been completed. 2 care manager focus groups and 1 self-advocate focus group have been completed. And a final report is expected in the early part of next year, early 2025. Okay. The HCBS waiver renewal application on September 27th of this year, just a little over, oh gosh, we're still in mid-October, just about 3 weeks ago. On September 27th, OPWDD received approval on its 5-year waiver renewal application, and that application is effective October 1st of this year. With this approval, OPWDD maintains its authority to operate its comprehensive waiver, which provides a full array of person-centered, community-based services to the over 100,000 number of developmentally disabled individuals that we provide services to. So, so consistent with CMS requirements to renew waiver authority every 5 years, the CMS approval is effective from October 1st, 2024 to through September 30th, 2029. And the last update that I have is that OPWDD is participating in the U.S. Department of Labor National Expansion of Employment Opportunities Network. The acronym is NEON, N-E-O-N. That initiative has been extended until, sorry, I apologize. I think I was reading slightly out of date notes. I apologize. Oh, sorry. This is what I wanted to highlight. So OPWDD is participating in the U.S. Department of Labor National Expansion of Employment Opportunities Network. As part of that collaboration, multiple New York State agencies have worked together to create an employment first principles intended to prioritize employment services for people with developmental disabilities and also non-developmental disabilities and increase employment rates statewide. So in collaboration with the Chief Disability Officer and other state partners of the Employment First principles have been elevated to, I'm sorry, I made these notes like the worst notes for myself. I apologize. It's so hard. So sorry. Let me read that again, okay? In collaboration with the Chief Disability Officer and other state partners, the Employment First principles have elevated to an Employment First executive order, which was signed by the governor, Governor Hochul, on September 30th, 2024. I hope that was as clear as I intended it to be because my notes were not very great, my own personal notes, so I hope that was clear. So the Chief Disability Officer will be responsible for Employment First initiatives. Employment will be considered the first option and preferred outcome when planning and delivering services. State agencies will designate an Employment First liaison and will review current policies and practices and submit an implementation plan for adopting the principles to the Chief Disability Officer by October 1st of 2025. Trainings for Employment First principles will be developed for state staff. A steering committee will be formed to include state agencies and stakeholders, and guidance documents with greater detail for next steps and responsibilities will be issued. I'm going to put the information for this, the link where you can get additional information about this initiative in the chat as well. Okay, that's the last of my updates. Sorry, towards the end, my notes kind of tripped me up, but if you guys have any questions, I'm open to answering them. Again, I apologize. I try to do it better on my own little personal notes, but I got a little flustered, I think, as I was typing them up. Sorry.
All is good, Sam. Any
Okay.
questions for Sam on any of the OPWDD updates?
No, I don't need to say.
There, consent.
Hi. Sam, on the employment, this is a comment because I know you actually can't do anything about it. And I promised to contact Kim Hill. But I actually went up to the DREAM thing in employment, whatever it was an acronym for, in Albany. And it was really quite energetic and quite decently attended. And there was no sign of people with intellectual disabilities. None. A lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
unfortunate
and it's
because
so really very non-inclusive. And I'll put that on record somewhere, you know.
yeah, please do, because disabilities is not just physical disabilities. Maybe that's what you observed when you weren't there, but it should
Absolutely.
it is a more comprehensive program, and it should be more inclusive to represent all the affected individuals as well. Thank you for that.
So, again, this is a plea, and you tell me who to ask. We know you get your briefing notes all at once, and they're exactly the same as generally in each borough. Can we get a copy of what you get, please? And
This is not
say
the first
those
time that that's
scribes
been
write it down.
requested. Yeah, that's not the first time it's been requested. I know different DD councils have requested the same. I'll elevate that once more, but the guidance that we've previously received are this is an internal document and not meant for external parties. But I will once again elevate this, okay?
This is now a Delia thing?
I don't know what that means, a Delia thing. I just know that I'm gonna be taking it up my line of supervision. I don't know who ultimately will make that decision, but I will raise it through the line of supervision.
Can I mute it?
Wait, can you guys hear me or no?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Sam, just on that note, this meeting is being recorded. So it's not, and I believe some of the other councils also record their meetings. So it's out for public viewing anyway, if that would add any weight to the possibility of getting the written notes forwarded.
Yeah, I'll mention that as well. This is, like I said, this is not your DD council. This is not the first time that this has been asked by not just your DD council, but we're getting the same feedback from the other DD councils as well. And I do believe that they also may be recording their content as well in terms of the DD council meeting. But I will certainly elevate that, and we'll see what leadership says, okay?
Thanks, Sam. Any other questions for Sam? Then Rayana, is Rayana here and available to provide any updates from New York City DOHMH?
Hi, good morning. Yes. We have no major updates. We had to reschedule the DD subcommittee meeting that was supposed to be initially scheduled for October 14th. We didn't realize it was a holiday for the agency, and so we had to reschedule. So that is now being rescheduled to November 12th. Information regarding it's a public meeting. It's an in-person meeting held at the Department of Health, Mental Hygiene at the Gotham office. And I'll post information around the DD subcommittee, the link, if anyone's interested in finding out more about it. On the website, you can see minutes or upcoming meetings and things like that. And then also, we do still have a vacancy for one person on the subcommittee, the DD subcommittee. We actually have one vacancy we would like to fill it with someone with lived experience. So if anyone who knows self-advocate that would be interested in serving on the subcommittee, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll put my email in the chat as well as the link to the upcoming subcommittee meeting that is scheduled for November 12th.
Thanks, Rihanna. Do you have a time for that on November 12th?
Yes, so for number 12 is going to be from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Richard?
Good morning, and I will second Ellie's position. We always liked it when the borough offices could, at the DDROs, could just say what they felt like. It's good to have uniform information, but Sam, let them know we're gonna support you editorializing and comments, and we like to see the personalities of the people we deal with. So
Thank you for that, Richard.
We'll push for that, and with a new commissioner, hopefully she'll get approved, and maybe things will loosen up a little bit. So I have a few items. The one under the special education world, I think I mentioned last month, the SED is undertaking rate reform, where they're looking to change the rate methodology for preschools, the 853 school age programs, and the residential schools. I posted a link, I think it's like one of the first ones in the chat. It was posted at 10:02. So they're serious this time about rate reform, and you can sign up on this link to get regular mailings, get the surveys from State Ed. So your input is valuable. Rate reform's been going on since I was a baby. Actually, seriously though, folks, at least 15 years, I was part of a group in Albany that was trying to do rate reform, and it kind of got lost. But now there are new people up there, and they're more interested in working with providers and families and making some reform. It's kind of on a slow boat to China, but hopefully it'll get moving with stakeholder input. The big announcement that came out, I think, yesterday, there'll be a rally in the Capitol on November 19th at 11 a.m. This is sponsored by NIDA, which is the statewide provider association for providers of OPWDD services. I know the last year and the year before rally, it was very well attended, and I'll recommend you try to get there early if you want a good position and not be waiting outside the war room. They want you to wear orange so we can see people. And it does make a big impact. It's outside the governor's office, and she can certainly hear that from in her office when people at the rally, and we usually have a lot of legislators there. So again, that's November 19th at 11 a.m. in the war room on the second floor. Make sure you get there early, because you not only have to find parking, but then you have to get through security. You'll be hearing more about that in the coming days. And NIDA has released its position, lobbying position, early this year, because the lobbying effort, and I forget if I went through this last month, but the major lobbying effort does not begin in February and March when everybody goes up to meet with the legislators. It's going on now, because the goal is to get it into the governor's budget, which is released in early January. If we can get it into the governor's budget, there's a very good chance it will move forward in the final budget. So after the governor releases her budget, and that's when people really start lobbying and visiting their legislators. In January, early February, they have the budget hearings by the legislature, where you'll see all the different commissioners go before the legislature and answer questions about the budget, as well as to do a presentation. Then in March, the Assembly and the Senate release what's called its one House budget. Those are the legislature's priorities. And then April 1st is the final budget. Before that time, and I haven't heard from the borough councils what they're planning, but earlier the better, that families and self-advocates and agencies visit their legislator in a local office, which is really makes a big impact when you visit them locally, and especially if it's a self-advocate and or a family member. Family members are very impressed, or very impressive on the legislators, and you get a lot more distance from them. So the major
Somebody's not muted, Richard. There's all this noise or people talking in the background.
Thank you, Susan. I was waiting for you to say that.
To say something? I always have something to say. So maybe they could mute themselves.
Okay. Thanks, Susan. So the three big positions this year. First, I'll state what the problems are. This comes from NIDA. IAC is part of NIDA, as is State CP, NYSARC, and the other statewide associations. But right now, a big problem is there's unprecedented financial strain caused by the Medicaid reimbursement not keeping up with the cost of living. So what we're going to be asking for is a 7.8% Medicaid rate increase to stabilize the system. Now, 7.8% is not just for the DSPs or other staff. It's to cover all the costs of running an organization. But of course, there'll be money dedicated to the DSPs because that's the major problem. DSP wages, as you know, are not in line with the level of skill and responsibility that our DSPs have. And we have to support those people to get more people into our system. So the solution will be, and what we're proposing is that legislature create a wage commission to examine the roles and responsibilities of staff and establish fair, sustainable compensation standards. There's a lot of competition out there now, and we've got to catch up to them to get more people into our system. This is rampant throughout the healthcare system and the hospitals and nursing homes, and we got to stay ahead of them. The third major position is providers keeping up with the New York State's climate goals, and they need the resources they have to do that for their residences and day programs and clinics. The resources are limited. Very slow process for getting payments approved, and so we're going to be looking for enhanced capital funding. Now, the one competition problem we have in the nonprofit world is compared to the state-operated wages, and this is not to say state-operated staff are not worthy of this money. They're worthy of more than what they get. So state-op staff get currently in the New York City area almost $28 an hour to start, where in the nonprofit world it's $17 an hour to start. So $10 an hour less than our state partners, and 40 hours a week, that's $400. If I'm doing my math right. So that's a tough lift. And upstate, the difference is nonprofits get about $16.74 an hour, and upstate state employees get $25 an hour. So we'll be looking to get more money into the nonprofit agencies to keep caught up with that. finally, I think, IAC's lobby days this year are going to be February 25th and 26th in Albany. We're going back to our old way of running our lobby days, where a good portion of the people go up and stay at the Albany Hilton or one of the other hotels. We all get together and get a briefing. IAC staff will make up the schedules for those attending to meet their legislator. And so that's February 25th and 26th. And then education lobby days are scheduled for May 6th. And the reason it's later is that state ed isn't required to submit its budget request to Division of Budget till after April 15th. So early May is the time to go up there and do our final push. And I think that's it for now. Any questions?
Thank you, Richard. Any questions for Richard?
First, I want to say.
No,
happy-
not Ellie. Don't let Ellie up there.
Yeah. First, I want to say happy tax day to Jackie Goldberg. It's the last day of extensions for final filing for 2023. John hit the button at 8 o'clock this morning. So we filed, just saying, the Shoemaker and all that stuff. Never mind. Okay, Richard, this is not a question that you can answer, but I really want to talk about it if we can. I think families are, I mean, I know I am, so I'll speak just for myself. Wondering why the providers need to have 3 items in their ask when it truly is the rate that's the important thing to all of us. I mean, the families commiserate with you on the energy stuff and the employment, whatever, but we're really concerned about staffing and having people around that'll support our family members. And whatever we can do to that. And do you guys ever discuss having too much on the plate, and then they have an opportunity, the government and then the legislature has an opportunity to say, oh, we'll give you the middle one.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there because.
No, that's okay, Ellie. And as you know, most years when we go up to Albany, we have too many items on the plate, and it kind of waters down and gives the legislators a way out. Last year it was almost all staff wages, and we were asking for a COLA, and that got interpreted as, well, we wanted to interpret a COLA as across the board increase, not just for wages, but to cover all the other expenses, everything from heating costs and fuel and insurance, so on and so forth. And then that got interpreted as only for staff. So it caused a lot of confusion. This year they want to focus on just 3. So who knows? I mean, this is these are our major asks now. So I know there's many other forums to see if we can request other things, or if we want the local legislators to hear it. But Ellie, we know you'll bring that up everywhere you can.
I will. I just wanted to throw it out there and have the family members and the providers think about it, because we can't get everything.
Yep.
Shout out to Ellie Roofer. Sorry, I have a new phone and I couldn't figure out how to unmute myself. Happy tax day to you. My taxes are still not done.
We won't tell on you.
Margaret?
Hi, everybody. I miss you all. I like the second ask of the commission. It supports the first ask of the money. And if they can finally understand what's involved in providing care to our relatives, it seems like it might be very useful. Richard, I have a question. can you give us some examples of what energy saving expenses might be?
I don't have anything specific. I wasn't part of that discussion, but my guess is that a lot of our homes require updating with heating systems and air conditioning and insulation. I know there's a lot of promotion for solar energy to heat homes. But Margaret, I'll take that question back because that's a good question. I haven't heard the specific examples.
Okay, thank you, Richard.
Yeah.
Any other questions or follow-up for Richard? Then before we move on to committee reports, just want to let everybody know that in support of NIDA's rally on November 19th, which would have been our next council meeting, we will be rescheduling our monthly Manhattan DD council meeting, most likely for November 12th, but stay tuned and make sure we will definitely get word out on details on that meeting, but just want to give people a heads up that that will be rescheduled. Okay, moving on to committee reports. Manhattan Family Support Service Advisory Council. Jackie, I believe you're up. We can't hear you, Jack. Nope, not yet.
How about *6? Does that work?
Nope.
Get the microphone to work.
There you go.
Yes?
Yep.
All
you're
right,
good.
I'm not gonna move. This is why you don't get a new phone, for this exact reason. Apologies. Okay, so first announcement is we had a very good co-presented meeting with Manhattan Family and Provider Information Committee on family reimbursement and the new updates. That was also an assist from Janet Davis. So I think a lot of good information was shared about the changes that will allow people to spend a little bit more money going forward. Secondly, I wanted to say that our council has officially submitted and had approved our bylaws for our support council. And thanks to Mary, who did a yeoman's job on putting that together. Our next two meetings, we are planning to do one on respite and recreation and another probably parent support facilitated by a Ramapo person who always brings a really good mix into the meetings. Lastly, since I have a husband who is a CPA and hasn't finished our taxes, I still can't come in person to meetings, but I would like to say that everybody who can really should, because Mary will provide Dunkin' Donuts coffee, croissant, and muffins at all meetings. Mary, did I cover everything?
Yes, there's plenty of coffee and Danish here, so come next time.
Ellie, or did that not come? You lost me again.
So we'll move on to Wendy. Do you want to go next for Family and Provider Information Committee?
Sure. As was said before, our September meeting was with the Manhattan a family advisory committee, which was great and a great start for the year. A lot of amazing feedback, Jackie, on the presentation. So people really connected with the way that you presented the information on self-direction. So just wanted to reiterate that and mention that to you again. So in case you're thinking of doing that topic again during the year, I think it would be equally as popular. Our next meeting will be Wednesday, November 3rd. We're still looking to finalize topics. So if anyone has any ideas, please do email me at wdeleon@adaptcommunitynetwork.org. I can put my email in the chat as well, because we are putting these meetings together for you guys, families and professionals. Hence the name of our committee, Manhattan Family and Provider Information Committee. So please let us know what you would like to hear about. Any presenter that you've seen out there that you think would be great for us to put a presentation together with. Again, just shoot me an email. Thank you.
Wendy, can you just give the date of that next meeting again?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Wednesday, November 13th.
Great, thanks. For a second there, I thought my old ears heard November 3rd, and I'm like, wait a second.
No. I mean, we're still cutting it close, but can you imagine if it was November 3rd?
Thanks, Wendy. Pat, do you want to give a report on the transition committee?
Sure. Hi, Pat Liu. I co-chair Manhattan Transition Committee meeting with Andrew Harris from P138, and he was there, but he had to leave for his meeting. So I will give the the update. So Manhattan Transition Committee, we focus on youth and with IDD in transition from school into the adult programs and service. We meet on the second Wednesday on even number of months. And we met last week on Wednesday, October 9th, with a presentation and Q&A on what's next after high school, including overview of the adult programs and service for youth with IDD and the process of getting connected with services. It was a very good turnout and a lot of good information and also a lot of good questions from parents and providers. So our next meeting will be Wednesday, December 11th at 10 a.m. It will be a hybrid meeting, in person at Synergia, the location that we are now, and a virtual on Zoom, featuring guest presentation about legal guardianship and alternatives. And networking among school, we also will have a future dedicated time for networking among schools representatives and adult service provider representatives. So please come in person, then you will get that great opportunity to meet with each other. And also finally, save the date, our annual adult service meet and greet will be Wednesday, February 12th at 10 a.m. via Zoom, featuring brief presentation by adult service provider organizations. And everyone will learn about they have programs and employment service and more. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
You're welcome.
Any other new business, general comments, concerns, questions? Then,
Just curious, I mean, we need to get more participation in all of the meetings. And I'm curious as to those of you who are on Zoom, what your reasoning is for not coming in person. Is it the location? Is it the time? Is it, let us know, send an email. Yeah, no, I'm not complaining. It's just, it's really terrific in person. And if we can just get more people in the room, and now if it's the location that's making you all not come, I know most of you are working and whatever, but let us know though, because you never know. We can punt. As they say.
I would have liked to come in person today. I just had other things to do here at the house and stuff. But I hope to be in person at the next one. I think it's great that we're doing this hybrid forum. I think that's a really wise decision on the part of the council, and I look forward to attending one in person as soon as I can.
There's food. Excellent.
Thanks, Ellie, and thanks for the feedback, Dylan. Yeah, it's over the past 4 years with the pandemic and the whole shift to Zoom and virtual meetings. I can tell you personally, from an administrative standpoint, when you had in-person meetings, people scheduled those meetings with time in between. And now meetings are scheduled so that you can literally click one and click two, and you're on to your next meeting. And I absolutely totally get that. But just to reinforce what Ellie said, yeah, the interaction, especially, going on after what Pat indicated with the network and particularly with the transition committee, that in-person networking is what is so critical, and has really helped out people in the past. And we want to at least get back to that part of that. So, Jackie? Can't hear you.
Jackie, you're muted again. You're muted again. Nobody can hear you. Nobody.
But you can't hear me.
Now we can.
I apologize. This is so annoying. I apologize. I just wanted to mention one thing, that in 2 weeks I'm attending the annual FI Self-Direction Summit in Albany. And in line with what Wendy said, one of the hopes that I have is learning a little bit about the interaction between family support services and self-direction, so we can have more clarity. But if any of the providers have any questions they would like me to bring up, please email me at our Gmail, manhattanfamilyadvisory@gmail.com. And again, sorry about the mic. I think I'll go return my phone now.
Thanks, Jackie. We'll have an in-service and training on new phone technology, except I will not be leading it. I can tell you that one. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Then have a great day and hope to see you all next month. And again, it will most likely be November 12th. But location is still to be determined, and it will definitely be at least virtual and hopefully hybrid. So thanks and have a great day, everybody.